This, folks, is absolutely crazy. The stars have perfectly aligned for silver on one specific day, July 24th. And there will be several major events happening on this day which will be hitting silver all exactly at the same time. Let's briefly go over what is actually happening on July 24th. 1. China's largest bank is shutting down retail access trading for gold and silver traders, potentially meaning this will be forcing investors to either close positions, sell, or take delivery. 2. On the same exact day, a major US tariff deadline hits, which will shake the dollar, inflation expectations, and of course, silver prices. 3. Fresh US economic data drops that morning, potentially moving interest rates, treasury yields, and of course silver very rapidly. And 4. A few days later, the Federal Reserve meets, adding even more pressure and uncertainty to the market. With all of this happening on one single day, this is going to make the markets go absolutely haywire across the board, not just silver. See, silver's already at a crucial spot right now, trying to hold the $57 bottom. It's either going to break below 57 and go down lower, or it holds and 57 is the bottom and we go back up. But within 10 days, all of this happening, things are going to get very interesting.
The silver market moves fast, but prices move even faster. Subscribe to Silver Slayer for daily updates.
Alright folks, welcome back. This video is going to be crazy. We have 4 different things to look into that are all happening on one day. Well, the last one is happening just a few days after, but will be even probably the nail in the coffin to the end of all this, or how it plays out. But the fact that all of these heavy things are happening on one day, it's not like these are little things. These are all massive things happening on July 24th. It's kind of scary. Like, it could be really good for silver or very bad, depending on how things go. Especially with the speculation leading up to it. So you make sure you subscribe, folks, not for my sake, for your own, because I'm going to be covering every single day what's happening. I will cover on July 24th what happened, how it's playing out, what you need to know, what you don't need to know. I got you guys. So make sure you click subscribe and like this video, because man, is this something that you better know about. So here's the first one. This is Trump's upcoming tariff deadline, which is on July 24th. And this isn't even really the craziest thing, honestly, believe it or not. So here is upcoming deadlines. So following the Supreme Court decision striking down the president's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose tariffs, Trump's administration has quickly leveraged other statutory authorities to advance its tariff agenda. So within hours of the court's ruling, the White House issued a proclamation to impose a temporary 10% duty on most imports under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. Section 122 tariff is set to expire on July 24th. So in order to maintain tariffs in the long term, the administration has separately launched a series of investigations under Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 and Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. So you can see right here, here is a timeline of all of these things. So a hearing will be on July 27th, and that's probably rebuttaling to the July 24th deadline. But we have that's one thing, that's just one little thing. Here's another one. This is bigger. So the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China and other Chinese banks restrict agency services for precious metals trading. So this came out on June 25th. Several Chinese banks, including Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, have begun to limit their agency precious metals trading because business of the great fluctuations in gold prices. The ICBC said yesterday it will stop handling personal bidding services for precious metals trading in the Shanghai Gold Exchange from July 24th. Postal Savings Bank of China, Ping An Bank, and other lenders also announced the suspension of similar precious metal services. Others, such as Bank of China, China Something Bank, and Huxia Bank, increased the margin ratio for their deferred precious metal services in the Shanghai. In recent years, banks have significantly reduced their agency precious metals trading business within the Shanghai Gold Exchange under regulatory guidance, and with adjustments primarily affecting existing clients. Industry insiders told Yakai that individual investors will likely shift towards standardized, lower leverage products in the precious metals market in the future. Quote, here's a quote. So, quote, agency precious metals tradings in the Shanghai Gold Exchange is a leveraged derivative business with relatively high risk, which has previously led to multiple disputes between individual investors and banks. Now, I found this part pretty interesting. So, they say with great progress in the negotiations between the United States and Iran, international gold prices recently rebounded from their lows. However, the hawkish expectations from the Federal Reserve had led to a sharp decline in the London spot gold price. As a result, major international banks have lowered their expectations. For example, Goldman Sachs cut its gold price target for the end of the year by $500. And that's citing bleak prospects for the Fed to lower interest rates this year. The firm also warned that if the Fed increases interest rates this year, the gold price could drop to $4,400 an ounce. So I think that's pretty interesting. So the long-term logic of gold remains intact. So yeah. Quote, moving forwards, it is essential to consider geopolitical situations and expectations for interest rate cuts, he noted. So that was another thing that happened. Now here is another thing that's happening on July 28th in the FOMC meeting. And remember, days before or the week before any FOMC meeting, especially with, with the new chairman, Warsh, that's and what happened last time and the amount of I guess assuming of these numbers that are coming out. Is it 3? Is it 2? Is it 1? Bank of America says 3, Dutch Bank says 2, most people say 1, but now it could be the percentage drops down and all this, and then people get scared, especially on July 24th, of what happened and how the markets are so volatile, and oh my gosh, prices are going to go crazy. And it's probably going to go crazy both ways, several times both ways. And people are going to lose their freaking mind. So get ready, folks. Prepare for the next couple of weeks to be insane. And once things blow over, we'll get a better grasp on the reality of silver. But there's going to be probably $5-6 price swings during all this. So here's another thing. July 28th to 29th, the FOMC meeting. Federal Reserve July meeting represents the most significant event risk for precious metals in the month. Chairman Warsh will have the opportunity to update markets on the Fed's assessment of economic conditions and provide guidance on the likely path of monetary policy. But remember something very important. The likely path does not mean it will be the path. So we are speculating on what he's going to say. And then even when he comes out and says it, we don't even know if that's going to be true. So we are speculating and assuming off of someone saying something that might be true or false. It could be completely wrong when the time comes. He might say A, but it could be B or C. But everyone's speculating on whether he's going to say A, B, or C. It's all speculative, and I hate that S word. I hate that S word. Gold and silver should be more based off the fundamentals of supply and demand, not this fear, uncertainty, doubt, all that crap. I hate it. So anyways, markets will be particularly focused on whether the Fed maintains its hawkish rhetoric or begins to signal potential flexibility if economic data weakens. any indication that the Fed is becoming more data dependent and less committed to additional rate hikes would likely be bullish for gold and silver, of course, as it would suggest the peak in real interest rates may be approaching. So yeah, we have a lot going on, folks. We have a lot going on, folks. Imposing a temporary import surcharge to address fundamental international payment problems. It's another thing that we have to look for. So yeah, there's just like I honestly think that July 24th will be one of the most important days for silver ever. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly July 24th because all of the speculation before and after will also play a huge role, more so than the day itself. But just like the psychology of that day will be very important and will play a huge role. I say one of the most important days ever because let's just think about this. Let's just step back. Let's step way back, like all-time price chart of silver. Look at this. Let's just say you're from the future, or you and your friend are looking at silver from the future and just looking at this time frame right now, up to right now. And you and your friend would look at these prices and say, wow, look what silver's done. It was $4 in 2002. It went up to 50 in 2011. And look what happened. Look at this. And this chart, it doesn't even show the 121, but it went even higher. You would say, okay, well, look at this drop though. And you guys would say, wow, this is an important thing because it fell from the drop and now we're trying to figure out if that's the bottom of the drop. You see this right here? Is this the bottom of the huge correction? Because if it is, then it will go back up. But what events are happening during the time of the potential correction right here? Well, one big thing that's happening is July 24th, which could determine a lot because if it breaks below this 57.58, which by the way, it's up to 59 today, so that's even more confidence and proof that 57 is the bottom, because that's the fourth time now that it dropped below 60. It went to 58 or 57 and bounced back up. It's done that 4 times now. There is so much support at $57, $58. It's basically a concrete floor now, literally. Like every time it goes there, it goes back up. I think that's the bottom from this huge correction you guys can see. But an event like July 24th could overpower any type of bottom. And if it breaks below 57, we'll probably see 55 or maybe even 40s. But if July 24th is good for silver, then that could be the rocket fuel to push it back upwards towards the path of 90 or 100. So I think July 24th is one of the most important days for silver potentially ever. Because looking at this, like step back and you and your friends are looking like, whoa, imagine the people right here. They just got so excited that silver went from 30 to 120 and then it drops. Imagine how you would feel right here. Is it going to go lower? Is it going to go back up? I probably bought at this price, so now I'm in the red. What am I going to do? Should I sell? Should I buy? Imagine that. Well, that's what we're experiencing right now. And big events change the prices. In 10 days, that's a big event that could change the prices or will change the prices. Plus so many other unknown variables that will get thrown in that will also affect the prices. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to like it, hype it, comment, share share. Whatever you got to do, please help me help you. Help me. Fair? That rhymed. So yeah, I'm going to go, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned Thursday. I am doing the Silver Stacking podcast with Andy Scheckman. So stay tuned. Probably be around 5 or 6 p.m. that the episode goes live. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
The silver market moves fast, but prices move even faster. Subscribe to Silver Slayer for daily updates.